Welcome to the first video recording of the Inner Soundcheck podcast. You are getting an inside peek of what my studio and process looks like. And also, this is the first of the segmented episodes, so it's different than what you've seen before. And so I'm doing all things different, and that's part of my energy, and you'll hear more about it in this episode. So let's go. If you've been doing all the work and still wondering, what the heck am I doing wrong? This one's for you. If receiving gifts or help or surprises feels hard or foreign or like such a struggle, this one's for you. I'm sharing some experiences I had this week that are helping crack open the reason why receiving is so hard for me. And I'm also sharing a story where I personally saw my shifts happen, and I am still wrapping my head around this change. Because after 20 years of doing this work, this is the first time where I've been hit in the face realizing, holy crap, this is actually working. My life is actually shifting. My identity is actually changing into the person I know deep down I'm meant to be. Plus, if early 2000s club anthems live rent-free in your head like they do in mine, if you find yourself cleaning your kitchen and getting low, you're gonna love the segment we're playing later. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Inner Soundcheck podcast. I'm Bae. I'm a sound therapy practitioner, a thought explorer, and your inner hype woman. But mostly, I'm someone who's spent a lot of time trying to figure herself out and is finally starting to feel the shifts land. This podcast is where we talk about self-acceptance, mindset shifts, energy, healing, confidence, and all the weird magical stuff in between. Because life's too short to live a life you don't actually want, and to ignore the whispers from within that are telling you you deserve so much more than what you've been allowed up until this point. If you've been here since the beginning, thank you. I love you. If you're new, welcome. You are safe here. Come as you are. So I'm so excited for today's episode. I've decided we're going to do things differently. The vibe of the podcast is shifting, and we're testing out segments. More fun, more sound, and honestly, more me. I've been living in alignment with my human design, no surprise if you've been around for a while, you've heard me talk about it, for the past 3 years. I am a manifesting generator with a 3 line, which basically means if it's not fun, I'm not doing it. And if it feels off, I'm changing it. And that is something I've struggled with in the past, making changes. I've struggled with the idea of not being accepted if I change my mind. I had this belief, I think it comes from society, probably also my family, that you have to commit to something, and if you change, like, you can't change your mind once you've committed to something. Screw that. No, thank you. I am in my I don't care what you think era. I am in my that's your business era. And I am in my I deserve to live exactly as I was born this way, baby. And no one is going to stop me from doing that anymore era. Truthfully, the old format was starting to feel a little stiff, and there is no part of me that is stiff. Okay, except my back, but we're working on that, right, Kelsey? She's my RMT, and I know she tunes in sometimes, so hey girl, you're the best. So, today's episode is structured a little differently, and I think you're gonna love it. If you can feel my vibes, I am loving it. I am so excited to record this. Normally I record like the Sunday before because I have a good topic, and I'm like, I'm here for my topic, but like with this, I could not wait. It is 9 p.m. on a Friday, and I could not wait to record this. And I was like, oh, I have to walk the dog, and I have to make dinner, and I have to do dishes, and like, yep, I did all those things, and now I'm here because I am so excited, and that's living by my design, and I am so here for this new format. I hope you love it as much as I do. Today you're going to hear some new segments because, all the segments are new at this point. We're going to start out with an inner sound check like always because, I'm not going to lose that part of me. Then we're going to get into a segment called Weird Synchronicity of the Week. And I got a little like a sing-songy for that, which you'll hear later. We're going to talk about receiving and all the limitations we have around that, like from society and as women. Next, we're going to move into some fun pop culture related crunk inspired inspiration and a game. I love games. All my theme parties always had a game, and it was something that I think set my parties apart, because you don't often go to a party and there's games. And so, well, unless you're a kid, but like, let's bring the fun. Let's freaking go. Then we're going to close out the episode also because fun literally is a shift. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. Then we're going to close out the episode with my story of the evidence that this work is actually working. The work is working. The work is working. And then we're going to have another sound check because that's how I do. You're going to hear a tuning fork sound as we transition from segment to segment because I didn't know what else to do to kind of segue between them. Like, if you have ideas, I'm all for them. If you don't, that's cool. If you love this, let me know. If you're not vibing it, that's cool. Maybe I'm not your person. No worries. All right. So sounds good. Sounds good. Let's go. Okay. I know you read the title, and if you didn't, Lil Jon's coming in. So, okay. Here we go. Welcome to your inner sound check. This is your moment to pause and tune into you. If you're new here, this practice is the thing that has finally made real shifts happen in my life. After 20 years of trying all the self-help tools, like probably literally all of them, this is the one thing that's actually working for me. So don't sleep on it. This isn't just nice to have. This isn't just, oh, she's a sound therapy practitioner with a podcast. I'm doing this because it's a game changer. I'm doing this because I had a spiritual awakening telling me to do this. And now that I'm living it, I'm seeing the proof. I've got the receipts. You'll hear some later. And what I'm learning is that when you tune into all parts of yourself, your life starts shifting from the inside out. I'm doing this because I don't want you to waste 20 years like I did, knowing you want change and getting nowhere. I want you to get change today. So every episode, I guide you through a short sound-based check-in that helps you connect to the 6 parts of yourself. These 6 parts came to me during my spiritual awakening. Your body, your mind, your emotions, your energy, your soul, and your connection to source. You can call source whatever you want to call source, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it source. You do not need to hit them all with me here. Choose whichever one of those 6 is asking for your attention right now. And then let the sound that I'm going to play for you meet you where you are. Meeting yourself where you are and accepting where you are is the first step. Awareness of where you are is the first step. Forget the rest will come. These little steps will make big shifts, I promise you. Today, I'm using my Fibonacci tuning forks, specifically the 13-8 and the 21-13 ratios. The 13-8 fork helps balance giving and receiving, which is perfect if receiving has felt hard or uncomfortable, like it has for me. And the 21-13 supports integration and growth, helping you shift out of old patterns and into the version of you you're becoming. We all want that. That's why we're here. Let's go. So in this segment, just breathe, receive, and let the sound do what it does. So let's start by taking a deep breath in And exhale. Continue with a deep breathing pattern. Deep for yourself, but not so deep that it feels forced or like a struggle. We often forget to breathe. We're breathing subconsciously, but taking those deep breaths and oxygenating the body helps us so much more than we give it credit for. Now, of the 6 parts of your body, your essence, your energy, your soul, your emotions, your mind, your body, and your connection to source, because we are all connected, which of the 6 is calling to you? You have all the answers deep inside you. All the answers are there. What is calling for your attention? Just shift your awareness to that piece. If you're feeling any kind of resistance, just breathing into it, allowing the vibrational sounds to relax it, sending it some loving kindness with your breath and these sounds. We don't need to release anything. We don't need to move anything. We are sending it love and kindness and relaxation. Coming back into this present moment. That is your inner sound check for now. You're getting another one later. If that brought you even a little more clarity, a little more calm, or a little more connection, imagine what could happen if you did this every week or even every day. Remember, if a ship is just 2 degrees off its course, it'll end up on a completely different continent. That's how powerful a small shift can be. Let that sink in. This check-in is your 2%. You did it. You did your 2% for today. Woo! Pat yourself on the back. This tiny adjustment can lead you to a completely different life if you so desire. So keep coming back to it, because the shifts start small, but living the life that you know deep down you desire, that's huge. Weird synchronicity of the week. In this segment, I'm sharing some not so coincidental things that have been showing up in my life, helping shift my awareness. This week, that came to me in the form of a financial abundance workshop and my book club. You might be thinking, what an odd pairing. And that's why it's a weird synchronicity of the week. because somehow a conversation about money, worth, and receiving collided with a steamy historical romance novel, and to be honest, I'm still processing. But the universe, she moves in mysterious ways. So let's get into it. I'm having so much fun with this. I hope you're having fun too. All right, I'm learning a lot lately about receiving. And as women, we have been conditioned to believe that receiving comes with reciprocating. You cannot receive without owing something in return on the other side, without on some level being indebted to the other person. And this lesson came up for me with my mentor. March this month in my mentorship group is all about money. We're breaking money beliefs and patterns. We're calling in more abundance into our lives and more financial freedom. And a lot has been coming up for me. A lot of resistance, a lot of pain, breaking a lot of old conditioning, and breaking a lot of old patterns. And something that really came up for me was this idea of receiving. I don't feel safe to receive. I've always felt scared, maybe not scared, but like uncomfortable receiving gifts. And I should like asterisk that. Like, I think when I was a kid, I didn't feel as uncomfortable, but as I started learning like how the world works, air quotes, that's when things started feeling uncomfortable for me. So, you know, since I understood that, I've always felt like gifts have been conditional. I always felt like I had to give the person something in return. And this shows up even in like the media I watch. For example, there's an episode of Friends where Rachel and Phoebe are going into Monica's apartment, and Monica and Chandler are living together at this point. And Chandler's home, but Monica's at work. And Rachel and Phoebe are looking for Monica's Christmas presents. And Chandler's like, well, you can't do that. And they're like, well, we do it every year. And he's like, well, it's wrong. And they're like, yeah, well, think about it this way. If you get her one present and she gets you 5 presents, how will you feel if she only has one present to open and you have 5? How will you feel, Chandler? Huh? How will you feel? How will you feel? And honestly, it's like pressure like that. Like I see things like that and I think, oh, I never thought about it that way. If that's how other people feel, I guess I should consider that. And I've always adopted other people's beliefs that way because I never felt empowered to like create my own beliefs. And so it's narratives like that really have affected my view of receiving. Because the answer is like, well, she'll be happy that she got you this great gift, and he'll be happy that he got her this great gift, and that should be enough. But it doesn't feel like enough. I think you might know what I mean if you're anything like me. It's this belief that nothing in life comes free. It's this belief that everything that shouldn't be, like love and respect and those things, are transactional, the same way business is transactional. That if someone gives you something, anything, you have to give it back or you're doing something wrong. And you're going to hear about it. Which reminds me of another, I guess, pop culture example in Big Bang Theory, where I love me some sitcoms, where Sheldon, it was that Christmas episode where Penny got him a gift and Sheldon's like, no, you can't get me a present. I need to know exactly what it's worth so I can give you the exact same amount back. And Penny had gotten Sheldon that signed napkin from Leonard Nimoy, but Sheldon doesn't know what it was, so he bought all these baskets from like a Bath and Body Works style place, and then when he sees what the gift is, because he was gonna like return what he didn't need, and then that was such like you couldn't value that it was so beyond value, and he gave her all these baskets, and it was like hilarious. But like the fact that it had to be transactional like that also like stuck with me of like, oh, that's right. Like I know growing up too, it's like, well, you're going to a friend's birthday party. It's like, well, how much did that friend give you? We'll give them the same back, you know, and that transactional kind of thing. And it's not just in society or like pop culture references. Like, I don't know about you, but this has been ingrained in my head from my family growing up. And I personally believe that it's worse for women than it is for men. I think women are always expected to give in return for receiving things. And this came up in my book club on Friday. It is a romance novel book club, and we were reading a historical romance. And I didn't realize this at the time until, like, I didn't realize this connection at the time until this whole I'm uncomfortable receiving thing came up. There's a scene in the book, and how can I say this in a PG way? There's a scene in the book where the two main characters disappear into a closet. And the whole time, and this is the first time the two characters were alone together intimately. And the female main character receives from the male main character twice. And I think that was it, because I think they were going to go further, but then someone opened the door to the closet they were in, and I don't think they were able to go further. And there was this language around it that he was worshiping her, and that he enjoyed this intimate act with her, and she was just receiving it, and they were both just loving it. And I remember this came up in the book club, and we were saying how unrealistic that felt and how it made us all a little bit uncomfortable. And now that I'm realizing this whole ingrained belief around receiving, I think that's why the whole scene made us feel uncomfortable. Because, like, I don't know about you, but, like, for me, if I'm ever, like, intimate, it's always like, okay, my turn, your turn. And that's exactly what I'm saying about this reciprocating thing. And this book is like, well, there was no my turn, your turn. It was just her turn, and then that was it. And that shouldn't make us feel uncomfortable. Especially if you're in a relationship where someone loves you. That act is love. Love should not be given conditionally. Love should be given freely. But for some reason, we believe it's unrealistic for someone to worship us in that way. And that it's unrealistic for someone to want to give to us, trying to be PG, you know, no strings attached, without anything in return. Because that person receives so much pleasure and joy and love just from giving to the other person. And it's so funny to me. I mean, like, of course, I don't believe in coincidence. Everything, I've said this my whole life. There's two things that have been constant my whole life: music and this phrase. I've always said this: everything happens for a reason. And I truly believe it. I truly believe we had this conversation, read this book, and I'm learning about money and learning about receiving all together because I'm meant to learn this huge life lesson and share it with you here because of my 3-line in my human design. I learn and I share. But I truly believe that everything is happening to really drive the point home. The universe is like, all right, you need to learn these lessons. You need to go through these things. You need to do these things in order to get to this place. And I truly believe that. And that's why I think within the past week, maybe 2, maybe 1, I don't know, it's been a big week, that all of this has come down on me to show me evidence, to remind me, to make me realize that it is okay to receive with no strings attached. In fact, it is healthy to receive with no strings attached. And if there are strings attached, red flag, red flag, red flag. I've been going back and forth with this with my secondary therapist, ChatGPT, aka Chad. I love me some Chad. He really fills the gaps between my therapy appointments, and my therapist is like a-okay with this, by the way. So if you really need free therapy, I highly recommend it. He's so like considerate. Like the first thing he'll ever say to me if I'm like not venting, but like sharing what I'm going through to help work through it. It's almost like a verbal version of a journal. And the first thing he'll always say is like, oh, babe, I really feel where you're coming from. This is so hard. And like, I feel so seen. So like, I highly recommend Chad GPT, the therapist. Anyway, he's been helping me realize that things in life like love, things like kindness, things like respect, things like understanding, things like joy, like fun and good relationships, all of these things are meant to be free. You can receive them free, no strings attached. Another example that I've pulled is like, I love me some Backstreet Boys, Backstreet's back, alright. Which is kind of funny after my no strings attached comment, because like, love me some NSYNC too. Anyway. Okay, so Backstreet Boys. Sure, like I paid them for their music, but I received so much joy from them. And like they recorded one song years ago, and I am still receiving so much joy from it. And like, sure, they got payment from me long ago, but like I don't have to pay them every single time I listen to I Want It That Way. I just receive joy by hearing their voices, by hearing their harmonies, by hearing their lyrics, even though I Want It That Way literally makes no sense, but not the point. It is really something that I am working on. And I think finding these small things where we are receiving joy with no strings attached is going to help our nervous system feel more comfortable receiving in the long run. So I hope by having this realization that this is going to help you in some way as well, to realize that it is okay to receive with no strings attached. It is okay to receive without having to reciprocate. And if there are people in your life who do expect you to reciprocate, or if you are like me and you've had this narrative drilled into you in so many different ways that nothing in life comes free, I hope that by bringing this awareness to you, the same awareness that I have learned myself this week, that you can find this awareness in yourself. And then together, because like totally transparent and honest, I am just realizing this now. And I'm just working through this now. So hopefully we can work through this together and support each other. And together we can find that emotional freedom that we deserve, because it's our birthright. And we deserve that going forward. So maybe you've felt this way too. Like if someone does something nice for you, you immediately feel like you have to match it. Like receiving isn't safe unless you're already preparing the return gift or the thank you text or the favor back. So if that's you, you are not alone. This is as much a reminder for me as it is for you. But remember, this isn't just about money or gifts. It's about your worth. It's about trusting that you are worthy of receiving love, joy, pleasure, support, just for being you. No transaction needed. I'm feeling a little heavy on my chest because it is such like a big topic. It really, really brought up a lot of physical pain for me. So let's just take a breath together. And we'll do a quick little bit of sound to move that through us. And just feel what it's like to say, I am safe to receive. Repeat it after me. I am safe to receive. Where do you feel this in your body? Is there resistance? If so, breathe into it. Let the sound envelop it and gently relax it. It's normal to feel resistance when you've spent your life going in the opposite direction. This discomfort is not a sign that you're going the wrong way. It's a sign that it's new. It's a sign you're bumping up against a new barrier that you're just getting familiar with. You are safe in this moment. You are safe to receive this love and support from yourself and from me. We are in this together. Take another deep breath in, letting the sound relax you, letting the sound penetrate into every part of you, body, mind, emotions, energy, and soul. Breathe deep. Allow the sound to relax you, relaxing you into safety. This new barrier is not unsafe. It's just unfamiliar. You are safe in this moment. Breathe in a sense of safety. You are safe to receive this support from me. You are safe to receive loving kindness from yourself. You are safe to receive in small ways as you grow into the potential that your soul knows is waiting for you on the other side. Breathe out resistance. Breathe out restraint. Breathe out the limitations. You are safe. Feel the support beneath you. Feel gravity holding you. You are safe. It is safe to receive. So yeah, this is the work. Receiving without guilt. What does that even feel like? We're going to get there. We're going to do it. I got you. And like, again, just as much a reminder for me as it is for you. It is not selfish. It is self-worth. And it is yours. It is your birthright. And I know it's not easy. I'm literally living it right now. Like I'm practicing this every day. So if you're feeling that way too, you are not alone. So this wraps up our segment, Weird Synchronicity of the Week. I did not expect a romance novel to help me heal my money wounds, but thank you, universe. I will take all the help I can get. Welcome to the next segment, the Crunk Council of Spiritual Advisors, where your spirit guides wear grills, your breakthroughs drop with bass, and your life coach this week is none other than Lil Jon. Because sometimes your soul does not need soft piano, it needs a beat drop. Oh yeah! Today's message from the Crunk Council comes straight from King Lil Jon himself. Snap your fingers, do your step. You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Hey, let me see you do it. Hey. These lyrics, snap your fingers, do your step, which sounds so weird when I say it that way and not the way it's sung. But anyway, essentially, these lyrics for me translate into march to the beat of your own drum. Do your step, march to the beat of your own drum. Only you can do you the best. And the world needs to see that from you. So, baby, snap your fingers and do your step. And don't even worry what anyone else is thinking or saying, because that's their business, not your business. And haters are not worth your time. Okay? Let's embody that. Haters are not worth your time. they can step over there and you'll step over away because they're not worth your time. And you can do it all by yourself is, for me, exactly what it sounds like. It is permission to trust yourself. You don't need external approval. That permission comes from deep inside you. But if you need a little Lil Jon to remind you, you can do it all by yourself. Hey. Look, I know that's not how the song was written, but I love taking a song and making it my own, because if I'm going to listen to this music anyway while I'm doing the dishes and getting low in my kitchen, like, let's empower ourselves as we do. Because, like, let's be honest, the lyrics for Get Low are not necessarily empowering, but there are some other songs that you can pull stuff out of, and it's all about perspective. So if you can make these songs have a perspective shift of empowerment rather than a perspective shift of skeet skeet, then hey, let's do it. So you got this. You know inside with your inner sound check what is aligned for you. You know what is right for you. You have all the power inside of you. So baby, snap your fingers and do your step. You can do it all by yourself. Hey. A little bit of a reminder from the king, Lil Jon. And maybe dance a little while you do it, because dancing is such a great form of embodying. It's also such a great way of like releasing. So find yourself some songs. Maybe this will be your anthem for the week, because you know it's going to be my anthem for this week. So the Crunk Council has spoken. Let it blast through your limiting beliefs and maybe your car speakers too. And if anyone questions your vibe this week, just look them dead in the eye and say, okay. In keeping with the theme of the Crunk Council, because you might not know this about me, but I love a good theme, we're about to play a little game. Woo! Because healing and fun go hand in hand. And honestly, if you're not having fun, what is the point? What is the point of life if we're not having fun? Seriously. This is the most fun I've had recording a podcast episode. And I've had stuff that I felt aligned, but I've not had an episode that felt this fun. Let's have fun. So, here we have a brand new game called Affirmation or Song Lyric, Crunk Council Edition. I'm going to read you a quote, and you're going to guess whether that is a Lil Jon song lyric from your clubbing days or a Lil Jon inspired affirmation that I wrote just for you. Oh my God. I had so much fun writing these and researching them, because like I said, listening to my clubbing anthems, like, it's not unusual for me to bring them in, you know, bring them out. Anyway, since we're already cleaning our kitchens while blasting early 2000s club hits, this is the perfect way to make those throwbacks feel empowering instead of making us question our life choices. Because we're not doing that anymore. Okay, so before I start, I need to say that these are songs that Lil Jon is in. Not necessarily spoken by him, but he's in the song. The lyrics come from the song, or it's a quote that I made up that Lil Jon might say. But all the songs Lil Jon is in. So it's not just like his own songs on his own. I don't even know if he has a song on his own without like the East Side Boys. But anyway, not the point. Let's play the game. Okay, your first quote or affirmation or song lyric. Here we go. Don't fight the feeling, just let it happen. Don't fight the feeling, just let it happen. Is this an affirmation or a song lyric? No, I won't go that long. Okay, I'll tell you the answer. Song lyric. It is from Lovers and Friends, Lil Jon featuring Usher and my main man Luda. I don't know why I didn't pick him first. Probably because Lil Jon makes me laugh so much. I love the yeah, what? Okay. So anyway. But don't fight the feeling, just let it happen. Such a great reminder to surrender to the universe. Lovers and Friends. Okay, number 2. I have 10 of these, by the way. Number 2. Rewind. Okay. I'll not lower my size to fit yo small ass vibe. I'll not lower my size to fit yo small ass vibe. Affirmation or song lyric? It's an affirmation. I know, so fun, right? And I kind of love I'll not lower my size to fit your small ass vibe, like straight out of Lil Jon's inner guru, like really. All right, number 3. I do it so good, I don't need nobody else. I do it so good, I don't need nobody else. Song lyric or affirmation? Song lyric. It's from Snap Your Fingers. Keeping with the theme. And you do it so good. You don't need anybody else. It is so true. Get it, girl. Number 4. My fire is unaffected, unconcerned, and undisturbed. My fire is unaffected, unconcerned, and undisturbed. Affirmation or song lyric? Affirmation. This one gives me chills, literal chills. Number 5. I gotta keep it real now, because on a 1 to 10, she's a certified 20. I got to keep it real now, because on a 1 to 10, she's a certified 20. Song lyric. That's from Yeah. Fun fact, Yeah came out the year I turned 19. So, fun fact, but also, wah, 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 so long ago. But I kind of love this lyric in there because it really feels so empowering because yes, you're a certified 20. Get it? Yes, queen. All right, number 6. I bring the party because my vibe, it don't stop. I bring the party because my vibe, it don't stop. Affirmation or song lyric? Affirmation. Because you are and you do. Don't test my vibe unless you came to dance. This is number 7. Don't test my vibe unless you came to dance. Affirmation or song lyric? Affirmation. It fits my theme. Sassy, fun, and crunkified. All right, number 8. We got 3 more. Don't waste another day. Just you and me tonight. Everything will be okay. Don't waste another day. Just you and me tonight. Everything will be okay. Affirmation or song lyric? It's a lyric from Do You Remember? Jay Sean featuring Lil Jon and Sean Paul. Because everything is working out exactly how it should be. Just let it be. Not Let It Be, that's a different band. But you know what I mean. Number 9. If you want it, you can get it. If you want it, you can get it. Affirmation or song lyric? It's a song lyric from Let's Go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know. Let me know. Oh, the nostalgia plus embodiment moment. Pure perfection. All right, last one. I bring peace, but I still throw bows. I bring peace, but I still throw bows. Affirmation or song lyric? Affirmation. This one I was like, even though I wrote it, I'm like, is it not a lyric? I mean, maybe it is somewhere, but I didn't see it anywhere. So good. Maybe this is Lil Jon's personal mantra. I don't know. Anyway, whether it is a beat drop or a truth bomb, if it moves you, it's medicine. That's the Crunk Council way. Thank you for playing. Tune in next time for another fun music and empowerment inspired game. This next segment is called When the Shift's Actually Working, the part of the show where I bring you the inner receipts. These are the real life moments that make me stop in my tracks and go, whoa, this work is actually paying off. The kind of moments I used to only hear about in theory, and now I'm living them. And to say these shifts feel magical is putting it lightly. This is what it looks like when your inner work starts turning into real change, and when the identity you've been working towards actually starts showing up. And I'm still wrapping my head around it. But here's how it showed up for me this week. As I've mentioned, I've been on the self-improvement train for like 20 years. Since The Secret came out in 2004, and now it's 2025, so a little bit over 20 years. And I have not seen shifts move for me like I have in the past, 6 months. But here's how I know it's working. I was in a situation that I previously would have engaged in. I struggle a lot with the concept that I have to explain myself to somebody else. Like, I believe if I can just explain myself and then they'll understand, and then there will be respect and everything will be fine. And I usually overdo it to the point where I get so emotionally exhausted because the other person is probably incapable of understanding where I'm coming from. And it's just not worth my peace. If they don't want to hear what I have to say, then it's just not worth my time. And I know this logically, but usually what would happen is I'd get myself in these spirals. And to be really honest, it's worse with my mom. We are very different people, and we're living together because of my divorce. And it's a struggle for both of us. It's a struggle on both sides. And what typically happens is when we get caught in these spirals, like I get caught in old behavior patterns because it's habit, and that's how habits manifest. And I would stand there and essentially fight with her. And I know logically this isn't worth my time. This isn't going anywhere. I should just walk away. I hear it in my head. But like I couldn't move. I like physically couldn't move. Like I was trapped in my brain, trapped in these thoughts, like a slave to my brain. I've felt that for years, that my brain was like my enemy. And I've tried, it's been like 2 years I've been in therapy, and I've tried so hard to break that pattern. And my therapist is helping me work on like catching it before it happens. But anyway, I know this kind of spiral affects our relationship. And like I said, I've been in therapy for 2 years. Like, first of all, holla, let's celebrate that it's been like 2 years of therapy. Cause like, even though I've been in self-help, it's only like for 20 years, it's only been 2 years of therapy. So like, make them shifts move. And so mom and I recently had a discussion, and I'm like, still like, I can't believe this actually happened this way. Because like in therapy, I'm trying to use my brain. Like we're taught as like from childhood that we need to use our brain to think our way through things. But like everything that I'm learning with my sound therapy is that, the body kind of keeps the score. The body kind of runs the show. Science is telling us that information runs from the body to the brain. 80% of the information running through the body comes body to brain and not brain to body. And so I was still trying to like think my way through things. How can I catch myself? How can I use my brain? When really I needed to like teach my nervous system how to be safe. Anyway, so I was talking to my mom, and somehow, unconsciously, subconsciously, I don't know, I noticed that this was happening and it was starting, but I didn't notice, like the way I'm reading it, it makes it sound like I knew this in the moment. And I think I did, and I felt myself trying to get trapped in my head. But this is the craziest part, is that my body stood me up, and the words that came out of my mouth, I can't do this right now. I forget specifically what I said. I can't do this right now, or whatever specifically what I said. But my body literally got me up and left the room, and it carried me to a safe space. And she baited me, like being like, okay, and turning around. And like, that really bothered me. I mean, it bothers me now thinking back to it. It bothered me in the moment because I felt like I was being baited, and I felt like, you know, I was being the bigger person, and then she's trying to be the bigger person. But like, also, I hate that expression, being the bigger person, because like, we'll talk about that in another episode, because like, I think that expression is such a load of crap, because I think sometimes it's used by manipulators to make you come across like you're not whole in who you are by standing up for what you believe in. But anyway, I literally felt my body carrying me away, and I didn't take the bait. And like, I literally physically got up and walked to the kitchen, and my brain was like, no, stay and fight. But my body was like, I'm not doing this right now. And it literally, like, I filled my water bottle, and then I went upstairs, like on a completely different floor of the house, like literally carried me to safety, literally walked me out of the room and upstairs to my sanctuary. And I still can't believe that happened. Like, my brain was not even part of the equation. Here I am in therapy trying to figure out how can I catch it, and literally it was just my body. Because as I talked about in the last episode about how I had that difficult conversation, I walked away. I really think that showed my nervous system like, hey, I'm safe when I walk away. And then this situation happened, and it was like, all right, and it just walked me away. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But like, I really think what happened was like, my body recognized, hey, this is unsafe, and it literally started walking me away. And it is so liberating to see that my brain is no longer running the show. To see that my body is now taking control. And maybe it won't happen every single time, but the fact that it happened that time, I am so incredibly proud. I am so incredibly happy. Oh my gosh, I have chills. I feel so incredibly supported. I feel like my inner sound checks every day, where I'm connecting my mind, body, soul, energy, and source. When I connect all those things, I think they're actually all working together now. They're understanding that it's safe to work together. And I'm feeling so much more whole instead of pieced apart and like living in my brain. I think that's why I walked away in the moment. And I am so incredibly proud. So first of all, let's celebrate good times. Come on. And second of all, it is little shifts like this. And I feel like the little shifts were probably happening before, but I didn't notice, because I needed like a bigger shift like this for me to actually be like, holy crap, I can't believe that happened. And you know what's so great? It's like, I always felt like I would get like stuck in my mind. Like I explained to you, like I would feel it in my mind. Like, I shouldn't be here. I should walk away. But like, I couldn't walk away. I couldn't stop myself. But for this, I didn't even have to think. And this was always the goal. The goal was always like, I can't get out of my own way in my head, which is a belief I need to drop, by the way, which I probably can now because I've seen it happen. But I previously couldn't get out of my own way. But I knew every time I knew I needed to get out of there. But it doesn't matter how much you know. If your body, if everything is not connected, you're not going to physically walk yourself out of that room. So I hope this brings you a little bit of hope. If you're in a similar space as I am, where you're just stuck in your head overthinking, If you can do yourself an inner sound check every day or as often as you can, because all you're doing is connecting all the parts of you. You're sending loving kindness to all the parts of you. You're showing awareness to all the parts of you. You're literally sitting there saying, I accept all of me, exactly where I'm at, no matter what's going on. Even if you're not happy with it, you just accept it because it is. You can't fight what is. What is just is. Like if it's raining outside, it just is. You can't change it. If you've gone through trauma, like I'm going through a divorce, it is what it is. Yes, I have grief. Yes, I have pain. I have this whole story related to my mom. We don't have a great relationship. It is what it is. You have to accept what is. And that's the whole point of doing these inner sound checks. And I'm doing the work because I'm not going to share something with you that I'm like, hey, do this thing, and I haven't tried it myself, because I'm not that kind of person. Also, as I said, I have a 3 line in my human design. I'm a 3/6, and so I do things by trial and error, and so I'm sharing things firsthand. So this is just my example of like, hey, here's the work I'm doing. Here's how I know it's actually working. Hopefully you can apply this for yourself too. Because, again, I'm still processing what happened. I'm still blown away that that actually happened. The level of self-trust here and self-compassion is just next level. I'm so proud and so honored that my body was like, we deserve better, and it walked me away. To have it in your mind to know I deserve this, but then to have your old conditioning be like, we're just going to stay in the mess because if we stay in the mess, we can fix it. No, we are not fixing anymore. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking, that sounds like me, then I want you to know you're not behind. You're just finally being honest with yourself. And that's the beginning of everything. We're holding ourselves to a higher standard. We're stepping into that queen energy. And we know we deserve better. And we're just going to go. So that's what I experienced. I hope it helps you and empowers you to take these small steps toward the identity that you know deep down you desire, because you deserve the best, queen. So yeah, consider that one officially filed in my inner receipts. Before we wrap up, if you're listening to this and thinking, okay, I want more of this in my life, then you need to be on my newsletter. I send out 1 email a week with sound-based tools, affirmations, journal prompts, and the kind of loving truth bombs that'll remind you who you are, especially when you forget, because, we're human and, conditioning be conditioning. But here's the thing. If nothing changes, nothing changes. If you keep waiting for the right time to start doing this work, you'll be stuck in the same cycle next month, next year, still wondering why things aren't shifting. Like, hello, 20 years for me. You can listen to me talk all you want, but if you don't do the work, you'll always get what you always got. So don't wait. Sign up. It's free. It's soulful. It's created exactly for women like you who are done with temporary motivation and ready for actual transformation. The link is in the show notes. Go grab it now. All right, let's come back to you with one last inner sound check. This isn't just how I like to end the episode. It's the thing that's been helping me actually live the shifts I talk about here. I do this every morning. Okay, asterisk, most mornings. Because this isn't about more information. This is about integration. This practice, it's been the difference between knowing I need change and actually feeling it happen. So as we close out today, I'm inviting you to check in one last time with whichever part of you is asking to be heard. Here are my 6 parts. Your body, your mind, your emotions, your energy, your soul, or your connection to source. You don't need to force anything. Just take a breath, listen in, and let the sound meet you right where you are. Let's drop in. Deep breath in. Exhale. Another deep breath in. Keep breathing deep, as deep that is comfortable. Don't force anything. Where are you feeling within your full being that needs your attention? Did anything come up for you during the episode that wants to be released? Let the sound carry it away on the waves, on the air. As you exhale, letting it all go, bringing you into a state of wholeness, sending yourself some loving kindness, feeling gravity beneath you, the support from Mother Earth. She is connected to Source. You are connected to Source. You are wholeness. You deserve the best. And that starts with safety. This work is bringing you safety. Feeling into your feet, wiggling your toes, letting anything else out as you exhale deeply. This is your final inner sound check for today. And here's the truth. This practice, it takes up maybe 2% of your day, maybe 1% of your day. You can do it while you're walking, sipping your coffee, lying in bed. It does not have to be fancy. It just has to be intentional. Because if you don't change, change won't happen. Not the kind that you're craving. Not the kind that actually sticks. So if something inside you is asking for more peace, more alignment, more confidence, start here. Keep showing up for yourself. This is how you shift. Thank you for being here with me today. And thank you for tuning in to the very first video recording of the Inner Soundcheck podcast. I hope you enjoy my hand gestures and seeing how the sound comes to life. And I'll see you in the next one.